In this video, I'll be diving a little deeper into how you can direct the user's attention in 360 environments. So let's go ahead and get started. As I've mentioned in my Medium blog article, Transitioning to XR Design, instead of designing for 2D screens with a limited screen size, we're designing for another dimension, in which 3D spaces and the world around us are the canvas. And this means we have to shift our mindset to start thinking in 360-degree, three-dimensional spaces. The rules of how we grab a person's attention also shift and expand, since with 360 experiences, you have to take into account that they may look anywhere at any time. We can't stop them from doing this, but we can get them back where we want them with environmental cues such as sound, animation, and light, or with certain NPC behaviors. I'll walk you through some practical examples with this fun experience from Baobab Studios. When a person enters an immersive experience for the first time, they tend to look around the area to see what the world is like. You want to give them time to do this so that they can get acclimated before progressing the story or giving them a task. Otherwise, you risk having them miss something important. Baobab handles this by starting in a still scene with narration only. This gives you time to look around the area while still listening to the story. They then use spatial audio and a small amount of animation to draw your attention to where they want you to look. You'll also notice there's no forced panning of the camera to draw the attention, as this could cause motion sickness. They're using our natural behaviors to look in the direction we hear a noise. And you'll also notice the scene transitions are fade in and out, placing you solidly in position and location for the next scene, including the direction you're facing. And again, the new scene gives you time to look around before drawing your attention with sound first and then motion. To me, this is a more delightful experience since they're leaving the element of discovery to the individual instead of forcing it on them. And just like with last month's overview with Moss, they make strong use of sound to give you a sense of things moving closer and further away by attaching the spatial audio clip to objects in motion instead of the environment. And Baobab makes you feel like you're part of the story by having the NPC interact and communicate with you through body language and behaviors. In the case of this story, they're establishing this connection now, as the NPC will be an important method of directing your attention through the rest of the experience, which now gets us into using NPC behaviors to direct attention. You'll see that even though you're not sure exactly where to look when the sound barrier's broken, the bunny has their eyes fixed on the source, making you want to look where they're looking. And throughout the next bit of action, Baobab uses the bunny's facial expressions and body language to communicate to you that you really want to look where the bunny's looking. Adding the spatial audio and menacing soundtrack makes it all the more compelling for you to look in that direction. I have to admit, I had a hard time keeping my eyes on the bunny for the sake of this recording, as opposed to looking where they wanted me to look. But it's a good thing I fought through it, or I wouldn't have noticed this moment a plan begins to dawn on the NPC's face. And then the determination on the face once it's time to act. Sorry guys, there will be no spoilers of this delightful experience. I highly encourage you to check it out for yourselves in VR on Steam, PSVR, Oculus, and phone-based VR headsets. I've included the link below in the show notes. So for a quick recap, you'll see that even though the NPC wasn't supposed to be the area of focus, Baobab went all out to ensure that the storytelling still happened if you were looking at the NPC instead of the main event. Give people time to acclimate to the new scene or environment before jumping them into the experience. To direct people's attention, use environmental cues such as spatial audio, light, and animation. Use NPC behaviors such as pointing, looking, facial expressions, and emotions to communicate and compel people to look where you want them to look or get them ready to do something you want them to do. And to keep the experience comfortable for all viewers, don't use camera panning to force people to look where you want them to look. Use all of the before mentioned environmental cues and NPC behaviors to compel the people to discover the story for themselves.